which belongs to the Akshobhya lineage. So, which symbolizes that you will not be swayed by any circumstances or conditions, and that you will not be affected by them. So, accordingly, your secret name from this initiation is Akshobhya Vajra. So when you receive this kind of initiations, you are given certain secret name in connection with that particular initiation. And in this case, your secret name is Akshobhya Vajra. And so the flower garland that you have offered up to the deities is now given back to you with the blessing of the master and the deities. And so please put on this, imagine that you put on the garland of flower on your head, and then you receive the blessings. Please remove the blindfold. So there are the five lineages, deities, five family of Avalokiteshvara, with the center, the principal deity, and also the four other deities. And so you are able to now see the entire deity, all deities of the mandala. So imagine that you are able to do that. And then you are introduced to the mandala, its different parts and the attributes. So imagine that now in the center of the mandala, you are able to see the Avalokiteshvara with 1,000 arms and 1,000 eyes, 11 heads or faces. And then with regard to the actual initiation itself now, there are the crown initiation and the water initiation, which are to leave imprints in us for the Buddha's form body and the Dharmakaya. Please repeat this. So these verses of auspiciousness that we usually recite, I think were written by or composed by Master Nagarjuna. So these verses of auspiciousness relate to the three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So just by tasting the water from this vase and also by touching this vase on your hand, so I should have sprinkled this blessed water from the vase, and I so having received this water initiation, which is given on the basis of this word, the blessed water that's blessed by all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Avalokiteshvara, deities of Avalokiteshvara mandala, and they confer this initiation upon you. So these deities are like illusion. They do not exist independently, but there is an appearance of them as well. And then the blessing itself does not have any. So similarly, it's the case with the blessing, the water, and then the action of giving this initiation also are like that. And so with this, you are left with the imprint for attaining the mind of a Buddha. And then you imagine that the deities of the mandala also dissolve into you. So, and then having given the initiation, then you also made some offerings. Next is, please make a mandala offering for the next initiation, the crown initiation. So in order to attain the Buddha's form body, which is the main factor to serve others, you are given this crown initiation. So the crown, the deities of the initiation for this are invoked, and then they put the crown on your head. And then, with your firm faith and aspiration, you think of receiving the crown initiation from the initiating beings. So, from the rays of the heart of the Lama and the main deity, the rays of lights are emitted, and they invoke the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions. Lama to go time, but if you go say you was a tree of Lama Wang could be Janet, the walk to it, you only want to come with the Shaman solution, but the Shaman now was one job. Method of Kuhunas which have a chalice, Moko, Zukaman, Suzama, so much, and Tone and Shoulder, and Cage, they did. So long as you don't know, it is new Gomoja was one the one, and she didn't give it to the wall with the end of the children. So in by giving this crown initiation, you, the disciples, the fortunate ones, attain the 5 Buddha families. And so for this initiation of the crown leaves an imprint for you to attain that of the Rupakaya, the physical dimension of a Buddha. Imagine the crown being touched on your crown, on your hand, and receiving this initiation. And then the initiation deities also dissolve into you. And then you are given some made offerings. So with this, we are done with the actual initiation. And then you are given the mantra, transmission of the mantra. The long mantra is too long. So at the heart of the Guru, please imagine this Om Mani Padme Hum around the 3 syllable at my heart. And as you repeat this mantra after me, imagine a chain of mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, comes out of, up my body and out of my mouth and enters your mouth and goes down to your heart point. And so 3 times, so that the mantra is placed there, and then the mantra, at the second time, at the third time, it is stabilized. Om Mani Padme Hum, please repeat Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Let us also recite the mantra of Bodhisattva Muni. And so, please repeat this. Om Mani Muni, Mahamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni, Mahamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni, Mahamuni Swaha. At the heart of Avalokiteshvara, and imagine Manjushri, and please repeat this. Om Arapatanadi, Om Arapatanadi, Om Arapatanadi. So imagine you have received all the blessing of Manjushri as well. At my heart, imagine Arya Tara, Venerable Tara, who is the deity of embodiment of the enlightened activities. Please repeat Om Tare Tudare Ture Soha, Om Tare Tudare Ture Soha, Om Tare Tudare Ture Soha. Imagine receiving the blessing of our Arya Tara, the Lady Tara as well. And so we do recite these mantras, don't we? So in order to overcome obstacles, Hayagriva also would be good. And so Hayagriva is the wrathful aspect of Avalokiteshvara. Please repeat this mantra. Shri Benzakorta Hayagriva Hulu Hulu Humpe. Shri Benzakorta Hayagriva Hulu Hulu Humpe. Shri Benzakorta Hayagriva Hulu Hulu Humpe. So the 7 royal emblems and the 8 auspicious symbols also offered. So all these symbols dissolve into emptiness, and from within the state of emptiness they arise into these symbols. So with this, the 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes Avalokiteshvara's initiation is completed. So we have the image of statue of the Buddha Shakyamuni, which is very sacred. It was built here in Dharamsala. And in Lhasa, there was at one point the Tibetan government in the past was asked to build a Guru Nangsi Silnan, Guru of Guru Padmasambhava, by Nyingma master Khenze Chogyalotu, before 1959. And then the government officials actually didn't build Guru Nangsi Silnen, which he advised or to build, but they actually built Guru Gyagarma. And then when he was reported about this, he said, oh, in that case, the Dalai Lama and a few of his entourage may be able to come to India. So because of that, I actually regretted that the Tibetan officials in the past didn't do their job, and so I commissioned to have the image of Guru Padmasambhava that is here in the temple. So with regard to the Avalokiteshvara, I had once a dream where I saw the Avalokiteshvara, which is called Rangjung Adin. And when I looked at the statue was actually looking at me and blinking, asking me to come to him. And so I went forward and actually embraced him. And so, in that dream, the Avalokiteshvara, Rangjung Adin, was actually reciting this verse, which encourages me to not feel discouraged, but be diligent in my works. And so I was also reciting along with him, and therefore I felt quite delighted that this happened in my dream. So the Avalokiteshvara statue in Lhasa was later destroyed during the Cultural Revolution, and so I received some pieces of that Avalokiteshvara statue, and therefore I commissioned to have this Avalokiteshvara with 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes built or constructed here. So it contains some of those pieces from the original Avalokiteshvara from Lhasa. And so this has actually become a very sacred image of Avalokiteshvara here, where people do visit and make their prayers and so forth. And so you have now received the initiation of Avalokiteshvara. Please repeat this. So you are making your pledge that you will keep all the vows and the pledges related to this Avalokiteshvara initiation. You are dedicating whatever merit and wisdom you have gained through this ceremony for the benefit of, so that you'll be able to engage in the Bodhisattva practices. So many people have gathered here, and then through the webcast and maybe live television, live television broadcasts, you have received this initiation. And so, of course, it's very good that you have received this initiation. And all the religious traditions on this earth teach altruism, love and compassion. So if you're not careful, you could be disgraced to your traditions. So recently, Pope Francis has said that rather than being a bad, unsincere, bad Christian, it would be better to be a non-believer. So rather than indulging on all kinds of misdeeds, it would be better, I would say, to be non-believer. So, of course, all the religions have the message of love and compassion, which is common to all. But when it comes to a philosophical view, the Buddhism has the most profound and the best philosophical understanding of. So we cannot say that the particular religion is the best religion. I do not say that Buddhism is the best religion in the world, because what is best for somebody, I mean, it's individual matter. So you cannot generalize and say that this is the best religion. Whatever is most suitable to an individual, that religious tradition could be said to be best for that person. And it is similar to medicine. So you can't pick up one medicine and say this is the best medicine as such. Whether a medicine is best or not should be checked whether it helps a particular, it's best for a certain disease and illness or not. And so, with regard to the followers of the Buddha's teaching, particularly the follower of that of the Sanskrit tradition, is something which we can use to have discussions and dialogues with scientists even today. And so many scientists take a lot of wisdom from the teaching of the Buddha, knowledge from the teaching of the Buddha. And then for us Buddhists, the modern physics is very helpful to us to understand the reality. So today, the Buddhist philosophy in general, and particularly the philosophy in the tradition of Nalanda, a monastic institution, is the best. But we cannot leave it up there in the altar saying that we have the best religion, the philosophical understanding of philosophies. So we should actually, as it is given in Tarkajvala, the blades of reasoning, a blades of reasoning by Master Bhaviveka, which goes through all the philosophical systems of that were extant in India in those days. And so we in Tibet also have come up with certain texts called the tenet systems. Upalosel has written the Drupta, the text called Drupta. And then later, Kunken Jamyang Shepa also wrote his great treatise on the philosophical systems. And then Kunken Jingme Wangpo also wrote a brief text on the philosophical systems of India. And then Kenta Jingme Wangpo or somebody also wrote these texts on different philosophical systems. These were not written to actually pass their exams as such, but to help the future generations and disciples. And so these are not meant for actually gaining some degree or anything like that, degrees or anything like that, but we need to study them. And today we have living non-Buddhist practitioners and followers. And therefore, we could have discussion. It would be good to have discussions with them about non-Buddhist philosophical ideas, philosophical traditions, and also different religious traditions. If we could have discussions, which we are doing, have with them, it is very good. So therefore, what I'm saying is that it's important for us to study the philosophical system, because we are Buddhist. And why I say that it's important to understand, study the non-Buddhist traditions and have discussions with them is because we need to, then we can actually compare our own philosophical positions with them, the non-Buddhist positions. Even within the Buddhist philosophical system, we have those of the Savatantrika Madhyamakas, within which there are the two sub-schools, and then there are those of the sub-schools within the Chittamatras, such as those of Chittamatras who assert certain philosophical assertions. And then amongst the Tibetan Buddhist traditions, Chonang, Satya, Kagyu, Nyingma, Kagyu, and so forth, if we could study all these different traditions, it would be very helpful to compare and contrast the philosophical views. And so that's all I have to say for today. And next we'll have an audience with for the newcomers. Thanksgiving mandala offering. Mandala kamniya taya me. So we'll say the prayer, which is the dedication prayer of Lamrim. From my two collections. Points of path as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddha's teaching for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion in whatever directions the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time by even this great path to enlightenment completed due to the wondrous virtuous contact of the Buddhas and their sons. May all humans and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing their excellent path never be parted in any way in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Nye lasa lenga julasa.